Good evening, Zimbabweans in the nation and around the world. We are getting breaking news that the Vice President Emerson Mnangagwa in Switzerland, where he is attending a UN meeting, has been humiliated by several activists, protesters, and people who told him to his face that Zimbabwe, among other conditions, does not qualify to send peacekeepers for UN peacekeeping missions. In the studio right now, we have the lady who stopped the printing of bond notes. Her name is Albi Matarutse. This heroic lady joins us live right now as she is leaving Switzerland. Albi, are you there? Please greet us.
Hi, hello everyone. Hi guys.
Oh, thank you, Albi. Tell us, Albi, today we saw you in the video clips a few hours ago, going straight to present your petitions. Would you give us a brief outline of what took place?
Okay, first of all, can I please just acknowledge that I personally did not compile that document. It was compiled by Zimbabweans whose faces are not even familiar to us all, who've worked day and night to draw the figures, make sure they're accurate, consult with people who have been offended. So my only job was to deliver it. So the reason why I did the video was I felt that I wanted people to share in that glory of the moment when the documents are taken over. Unfortunately, when the actual moment came, my phone battery died, which I do apologize for. But I went to the office that I was directed to in the morning. In fact, what happened was I left Germany yesterday. I thought I'd drive through the night just to make sure I didn't get caught in traffic. So I arrived early in the morning at 4 o'clock. So I decided to sleep in my car and wait till the morning. And at 8 o'clock, as I was catching up on mail before I set off, I saw a newspaper article. I can't remember what the newspaper was, saying that Zimbabwe was, in fact, presenting today. So in a mad rush, I had to rush to get there in time. But as it happens, they're not presenting today. They are presenting tomorrow. So there was a lot of confusion with regards to mission. And I was taken from pillar to post. I mean, the place I was supposed to go to initially, I went to, and they couldn't find anything with regards to Zimbabwe in their system or in their timetable today or tomorrow or at all this week. So they redirected me to another office. And at that point, because I thought I was late, I parked my car, didn't know where I parked it, and I just left. So because I couldn't find my car, I literally had to run from one place to the other, and they directed me towards the tram, and I'd left my wallet in the car. I was very disorganized this morning, I'm afraid. But eventually I got to the big UN office, and they wouldn't take the document. So I had a lot of problems trying to hand this document over. And they were insisting that it had to be an organization, an NGO. I said, well, I'm a citizen, so we had to try and get through that logistically. Anyway, after a few hours going from one place to the other, I went back to the original place where I was first of all directed. And unfortunately, the lady that I'd spoken to earlier, who was the only one who could speak English, was not there. And my French is non-existent. I did 2 years of French in school and I don't remember any of it. So they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't call anyone. So, I was on a mission. There was no way I was leaving without it. I was going to stay until the gates were closed or something. As it happened, there was a couple that came in, and the woman could only speak English, and the man, who I think was from North Africa, could speak English. So it probably was a good thing that the two gentlemen at reception couldn't understand English, because I said to him, look, I really need to get this done. I need to have this document registered, because apparently that is the protocol. You have to have it registered, signed in and registered, so that it is submitted for whatever the talk is or whatever the government is presenting. And I said to him in English, I said, look, this is really, really important. I've been taken from pillar to post. Nobody wants to handle this. I don't have an organization. This is proof. This is proof from citizens of Zimbabwe, gathered by citizens. There have been some lawyers involved. It's all legally constructed. And I said to him, I need you to give me a name. He was saying, well, I don't know. I said, no. I said, you can't leave until you give me a name of someone that I can ask for, that I can give the document to, because I've been here for 2 hours and nobody would take it, and I keep being redirected. Anyway, so he had a think, and he came up with a name, and he said, well, I think this is the best person. She's very, very practical, right? And she will definitely take care of it. And once it's signed to anyway, it will be submitted. So he gave the name to the gentleman, and he just to call her and to tell her that whatever it was said in French. But that is how eventually it happened. I mean, nothing much really. There was not much else activity today, and they took the document from one gentleman, as he was saying in French, history or what. So I said, well, have a look, and opened it, and there are some graphic pictures in his face. Of course, he didn't say anything. If he had, I never understood. But he signed everything in. I was allowed to take a picture because I really wanted to share this moment with everyone, because I think this moment belongs to all of us. And people who had put all the effort in to say, look, your post lady has arrived.
Sorry. I think your sound seems to be going in and out, and we're now sort of struggling to hear you.
Sorry, I'm also losing my voice. Can you hear me now?
Seems a bit better. You could continue.
Okay, so basically, I took the photograph so I could share it with everyone, so everyone can share that moment of us as Christians representing ourselves and saying, well, we know you have this international space where the government apparently come in and say what they want and get away with what they want. But we, the citizens, have decided that we are going to unite, we're going to stand up for ourselves, and we are going to have a voice. And this document, to me, was an expression of our voice. So that photograph was taken, especially for the people who worked so hard day and night. I was been worried that it wouldn't be ready because some people were working 24 hours to make sure everything is absolutely accurate and correct. And it was ready in time, and I was able to leave. And so that photograph is for everyone. It's almost a symbol of, yes, there are organizations who are dealing with government and will help, or will at least listen. Please, listen.
If I could ask you, Albi, your statement, would we be able to get a copy of it so people can see it?
Well, I made the mistake of I have just to a few people, but having had permission from the original rights, but that's not a good idea. So if anyone has it, please keep it under your hat, because the understanding is if the government gets a hold of it, they're going to start composing some kind of defense. So certainly, I'm sure a copy will be made available, but after the event.
Okay, I see. Okay, once again, Albi, the sound is not so good, but we can hear certain bits. And I'm thinking maybe I might have to dial in direct to you. But quickly, if I could ask you...
I'm on the Autobahn. That's the problem. I'm on the Autobahn, so cars are, I'm still 500 kilometers away from home, and it's really, really loud. So my apologies.
Okay,
I just pulled over.
It is okay. Was your action linked to the Lawyers for Human Rights, the Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights, and the Crisis Coalition, or yours is different?
It's completely different, and here's the thing: I didn't even know that there were other documents. I mean, it would have been good for us to have possibly united on this, but I guess the thing is more is more. So even if information is replicated, I think it reinforces things, and it does show that even though we're all working together, we do kind of need to come together so that we can have a bigger impact. So I didn't even know that there were activists there. I did see a Zimbabwean meeting, and she recognized my accent. So you're from Zimbabwe? I said yes, and she said she worked for the UN. And I would have handed her the forms, the documents, but after what happened with the Itaizamara children with the UN, I kind of decided, well, I want to hand it in more officially and have it signed in. So there were some Zimbabweans there that I noticed, but of course the government is there, and there were 3 gentlemen that I noticed. I can't differentiate whether they're security or, so under different circumstances, I would have approached these people, and they may well have been activists, but they didn't have a flag or anything. So I just decided to go about my business and then just go home.
Right. Okay. Yes. Because there is also an additional petition that you handed in, correct? The one of that was compiled by several other bodies in Zimbabwe, the likes of National Vendors Union.
Yeah,
National Union of Vendors.
As you recall, Stanzo Raza was here, and he had hoped to make it to Geneva, and when I spoke to him, he asked me to take it with me. So, in effect, I delivered 2 documents, both of which were duplicated. So, yes, that's basically 2 different items submitted, plus the other people who are submitting material. So I think this is really good. And I would really, really urge Zimbabweans. Somebody posted something on Zim Solutions. I've reposted it. Please, tonight, I'm really begging from the bottom of my heart. It's a letter and it's all pre-written. It's a letter that you can send to the emails of the organization that are operating tomorrow. So if every Zimbabwean can send an email to clog up the system, because 2, 3, 4 documents may be ignored, but there is power in numbers. If you don't know what to say, just duplicate the letter and send it. There are 2 email addresses. Please send both. You can even send twice if you want. I'm really, really urging everyone to do this, because I think a document may have some impact, but I tell you what, when all people speak at the same time, they cannot ignore that. They cannot. So if you have an internet, you have an email address, please go to Zim Solutions. I'm afraid it's the only, anyone can share it, wherever, on every page. That would be great. And just copy the letter and send it. Please, I'm begging everyone to do this tonight, if it's possible. Please. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Albi, for this update. Zimbabweans, you're hearing it. If you go to Zim Solutions on Facebook, there's a Facebook page that they are running, which is called Zim Solutions. Their email addresses, there are 2 email addresses, as she has said, that you can you can send your petition as well as an individual, demanding that Zimbabwe, as she's saying, be barred from participating in police involvement. I beg your pardon, police peacekeeping missions. That's one of those things. The other issue, I think, the other issues that Albi has stated here. We also have other activists and their groups, including the Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights, the Crisis in Zimbabwe Coalition, who have presented their legal arguments that Zimbabwe must be held accountable. The government must be held accountable according to them. And here I quote this particular representative of the Crisis in Zimbabwe Coalition, Sally Dura, saying, "We participated in the UPR process and made our submissions as CSOs led by the Zimbabwe Human Rights Forum and the ZLHR, which are members of the Crisis in Zimbabwe Coalition, in a separate document that shows a dearth in both the human rights situation in Zimbabwe and governance deficit. We painted and predicted an escalation of human rights violations as the country edges towards 2018 elections. And as expected, Mnangagwa will try to portray a positive outlook and downplay our report, but we remain resolute that empirical evidence on the ground point to a predatory state that has instituted over 600 arrests in less than 6 months on peaceful protesters." Right, this is, yes, Zimbabwe Solutions. We have Maria Mugara Panyama asking if the Facebook page is called Zimbabwe Solutions. Yes.
It's called Zim Solutions.
Sorry, Zim Solutions. I apologize, okay. Maria, if you can hear me correctly there. The name is Zim Solutions, not Zimbabwe Solutions.
Okay, and I would urge anyone who's already on there to share it to other groups, to share it to your page. Ask your friends to do it. Ask every single person you know. It's just a source, but to grab it from there and share it with everyone. Ask your neighbors, just spread it so everyone sends an email tonight, please.
Well, Zimbabweans, this is it. This is what has happened today in Switzerland. By the way, Albi, as we close, because we need to let you so that you can travel. Yes, Zim Solutions. Maria Mugara Panyama asks again, Zim Solutions. It is Zim Solutions. Okay, now Albi, when will the peer review start? You said Zimbabwe will be presenting tomorrow. Is it?
Yes, it's tomorrow, and I believe it's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And that's
at 3 o'clock.
At 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 o'clock. Okay, Geneva time tomorrow. Geneva time. Zimbabwe will be presenting its case. So those who are in the Geneva area, who might want to participate, they can throng the building, the area there. There are also email addresses that people can send. If you are a Swiss citizen, you could also use your rights to express yourself. And then the other thing is the peer reviewing. It will be on Thursday, is it not? It's Thursday, right?
I'm not sure about the logistics, but I do understand that Zimbabwe presents tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Honest,
we understand that what's going to happen on Thursday, there'll be peer reviewing. So there'll be other countries reviewing each other. So you have, for instance, in this case, let's say Norway reviewing Zimbabwe. Okay, the worst scenario is a sympathetic. A Mugabe sympathetic country reviewing Zimbabwe. You would know obviously that the automatic there would conclusion would not be favorable to most protesting Zimbabweans. The bulk of Zimbabweans right now, and who also include supporters of the regime. So
also, and this is the reason why when people email and it overrides that. Whatever you have to say, you cannot fight with the numbers. So if one thing fails, at least other hopefully will fail. So that's the idea.
Right. I'm going to have to call you directly so that you can just finish with that one last line, that one last statement you've just made there, because it was being cut.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, Albie. Yes, if you could just finish that one last line there, that very last statement you made.
Yes, the point I was making is I think it's brilliant that we have so many different groups of people that have submitted documents, and even if those documents are duplicated, it reinforces the issue. But as you mentioned earlier on, if a country that is pro Mugabe, if you like, and isn't in favor of highlighting the human rights abuses reviews Zimbabwe, it means they're going to quash those submissions. Those submissions will mean nothing if whatever country is reviewing them chooses not to acknowledge fully the human rights violations, if in fact that is how it works. And so to ensure that our voices are heard, it is imperative, absolutely imperative, that we all send emails, because whatever that country has to say, you cannot argue with the numbers. You cannot argue with the numbers. So I urge every single Zimbabwean, it'll take you 5 minutes, ask every single person you know, to send an email to each one of those 2 addresses. You can either write your own text or you can copy the text up on there. I've reposted the email, and I'm sure other people will share it to other groups. So you don't have to go to Zim Solutions to get it. I'm going to post it to 1 million Zimbabweans, or as many groups, anyone and everyone. Please share it to your page, ask your friends. You know what, I think I've over-repeated myself. So that's really quite important, just in case everything else doesn't have an impact. And we will have demonstrators there, from my understanding. But again, it's the rest of us. We can make an even bigger impact than anything that's happened so far. So I really urge everyone to participate.
Thank you very much, Albie. I've just been to Zim Solutions right now, and I'm struggling to see the 2 email addresses.
You have to open the mail. I've shared it twice. It was, and let me just see who somebody else compiled it.
Because I was wondering if there's a possibility those email addresses can be copied right now and they can put on the ZimI page right now, so that we do not waste too much of time and space.
I know that Todd Maporimbo had he copied the message. Okay, so let me do that. Let me see if I can extract the actual message itself and put the email addresses on top and repost. I'll happily do that right now.
Thank you very much, Albi. Well, Zimbabweans in the nation.
And anyone else, please share to all your other pages. Anyone else, please share to every single page that you know and you have.
Well, Zimbabweans in the nation and around the world, thank you very much for joining us here on this brief segment. We are exploring what took place and what is taking place right now in Geneva, Switzerland, where Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa is presenting his case specifically for human rights, the human rights situation in Zimbabwe. And we've had in the studio Albi Matarotse, the lady who stopped the printing of bond notes recently in Germany, and she is also one of those people who went in today to hand in their petition against the Zimbabwean government. She has outlined and called Zimbabweans to go to a Facebook page titled Zim Solutions, where you can find 2 email addresses there that have been posted.
Can I just say the easiest solution, actually, I've just seen it, it's on Tajamuka page. It's on the Tajamuka campaign page, so everyone knows that page. So forget about that one. Everyone go to the Tajamuka campaign page.
Okay.
It's the first post on the Tajamuka page. So, and all the details are there.
Right, okay. There are several Tajamuka pages, do you realize? There's Tajamuka campaign, there's Tajamuka TV.
It's the campaign page, Tajamuka. Okay, let me reshare that. Zim Solutions. But everyone knows Tajamuka, so if you're in doubt, it's the one I think we put the video with it, but I'll repost it. I'll repost it. This is really, really important. Okay, I've reshared the Tajamuka page. It's the one with the video that I took today, but the video doesn't really have anything. It's the message, it's the text that is really, really important. Can you see it now?
I think I do see the email addresses that have been posted there. Yes.
Okay. So if you can't remember Zim Solutions, just go to Tajamuka, the Titi Jikile campaign page, so the main page.
Right. Thank you very much. Yeah, we've seen these email addresses here. Registry and civil society, correct?
I believe so. Sorry, I've just moved out of there. I should be a bit more organized, isn't I, really? Let's just double check. The one that says Citizens Call to Action.
That's right.
Yes. So go to the Tajamuka campaign page, and it's the very, very, very first post there.
Right.
And if anyone, please share it on any other group, so people don't have to go looking for it.
Okay, thank you very much, Albi. And I think right now we are going to post that very same. And I think right now we are going to post that very same. Okay, the same post has been put onto the Zimai page right now. So Zimbabweans in the nation around the world, you can find the same Citizens Call to Action, Do Your Part, which was drafted.
Yes, the Zimai and Tajamuka. Yeah.
That's right. Well, thank you very much. Yes, Fitz McDonald, you can now find, because you've just asked how about pasting it on Zima. Yes, it is there. The Citizens Call is now there.
Everywhere.
Absolutely,
Everywhere.
absolutely. And Albi says here, just copy, please do copy that Citizens Call and paste it everywhere. Thank you very much for joining us, Zimbabweans in the nation around the world, and thank you, Albi, for giving us this update from Switzerland. Just as we close, tell us, how is it there?
Well, actually, at the moment, it's surprisingly, today it was sunny. It's been cold for the last few days, so right now it's 15 degrees, which is really unusual because it's half 6 and it's dark, so that's good. That's really good, but otherwise, I think
Harare weather in winter, right?
Yes, exactly right. But this is good for us. This is mild. This is really nice. This is good.
Right, splendid. Zimbabweans in the nation around the world. This is it. Let's continue in the news on zimai.com as we close. Thank you very much to all, and thank you, Albi.
And thank you very much to all the people who compiled this document and put all the hard work to bring it to fruition. They are the people who we really should be thanking. We don't get to see their faces, but there are a lot of Zimbabweans out there who are doing a lot of good work, and we don't even know that they're there. So thank you very much to those people who made this happen.
Welcome, Albi. Thank you very much. This is it. This is zimai.com.